I never imagined that a single conversation could flip my entire life inside out, but that night it did. It began like any ordinary evening. I was lounging in the living room with a drink in my hand, expecting nothing more than the usual small talk with my wife. But something was off. There was a tightness in her expression I couldn't identify, a heaviness in the air. She kept her eyes away from mine, fidgeting with her hands, and then, trying to sound casual, she delivered the news that shattered everything. She told me she had been unfaithful. With her boss. For a moment I couldn't even absorb the words. They echoed through my head, ricocheting against every part of me. I stared at her, stunned, as anger, hurt, and confusion crashed over me in waves. My voice wasn't there. Nothing came out. How could she do this? For how long? What? Everything I thought was solid in my marriage, everything I believed about us, broke apart right in front of me. And somehow what happened after made it all even worse. I finally managed to ask her, in a voice that barely sounded like mine, why she'd do something like this. Why she never came to me, why she let it get this far. Then I mentioned her friends. Didn't she think they'd eventually find out? That someone would notice? And that's when she gave me another blow I'll never forget. She told me that it wasn't her who confessed, it was her friend who had told me everything. Not hints. Not suggestions. The full truth. Her friend laid out everything I hadn't seen. The flirting. The excuses. The lies she fed me. The hidden conversations. The private rendezvous. Each detail made me feel like I was sinking deeper into disbelief. All the affection from the past month, the smiles, the kisses, the I love you hiss, suddenly felt staged, rehearsed, like props in a performance meant to cover up what she was really doing. I turned to my wife, voice shaking, and asked, "Why would your friend even tell me this? Why would she betray your trust?" And my wife's answer still echoes in my mind. Her friend told me because she had feelings for me. Because she liked me. Imagine that. Someone choosing honesty with me over loyalty to her. She said her friend had warned her repeatedly, told her she was making a terrible mistake. But my wife brushed it all aside. She kept going, ignoring every sign, every plea to stop. I wanted to yell, to demand explanations that probably wouldn't make sense anyway. I asked her why she never listened to anyone, why she kept going even when she knew the consequences. She just stared back at me, eyes full of guilt mixed with something stubborn, and said she did what she wanted, no matter what it cost. Even if that cost was me. The hours that followed were unbearable. My mind kept looping every moment, every lie I ignored, every strange behavior I dismissed. I kept thinking about her friend, the courage it must have taken to come forward, to tell the truth knowing it would create chaos. And even with that awareness, the betrayal cut into me deeper than I ever thought possible. It was like my life split into two versions. The life I thought I was living and the harsh reality I had been blind to. I questioned her again and again, hoping for some clarity, some reasoning that could soften the impact. But the truth was unmovable. She had chosen her desires over everything we'd built. And her friend, she had done the only thing she thought she could. Even if it meant stepping right into the middle of the disaster. Days blurred into restless nights as I replayed her confession over and over. Every word she spoke replayed in my mind, forcing me to see the full picture. And somewhere in that mess I realized something important. Her friend had saved me from walking blindly into a future built on lies. She gave me the truth, harsh and unfiltered, but necessary. I felt both grateful and guilty. Grateful because I finally understood what had been happening. Guilty because I knew this truth would tear apart friendships, break trust, and ruin what was left of my marriage. But I also had to face a painful reality. Sometimes the people we think will protect us are the ones who fail us the most. And sometimes the people we least expect are the ones who choose honesty, even when it costs them. Looking back, that night became the dividing line in my life. I had two choices: let the betrayal consume me, let the rage hollow me out, or confront the truth and start reclaiming myself piece by piece. It wasn't quick. It wasn't smooth. I spent weeks, months untangling the lies from what had been real. I rebuilt myself slowly, learning to walk forward with clearer eyes. I realized that even the most painful truths are better faced early than buried behind years of deception. I will always remember what her friend told me. Her words stay with me, a reminder of betrayal, bravery, and the fragile nature of trust. And I will always remember the lesson I gained from that night. Truth can appear from the least expected places. And facing it, no matter how much it hurts, is the only way to free yourself. If someone reading this finds their own reflection in my story, know this: betrayal may come from the ones you love most, but sometimes honesty arrives from surprising directions. And in that truth, you can find the strength to reclaim your life, your dignity, and your peace. The pain may never vanish completely, but the clarity that comes with knowing the truth is something no one can ever take from you.